Okay, we're live, and I have
Hi.
a very special guest here with me. Hi, Catherine.
Hello.
Hey, this is Katherine Ramdeen from the Alex, Annie, Alexis, Ann episode.
Yep.
Welcome to our madness.
Thank you for having me here. It's cool. Virtual world.
The virtual world. Yeah, this is cool. I love doing this. Okay, so we're going to ask for our viewers to please get your questions ready and throw them into the chat window so that we can ask Catherine all our amazing questions that we've prepared well in advance, I tell you. I just wanted to give everybody a heads up on what's going to go on. I know everybody's waiting to hear about the Always Keep Fighting campaign, and I'm very pleased to tell everybody that we've had an incredible response, and we've got a lot of, sorry, my daughter's like rearranging the desk. We've had an amazing response, and what I'm going to be doing is towards the end of the show, while we give our trivia question, I will read every single one of your names out that has supported the Always Keep Fighting campaign, because I can't describe how appreciative I am. And we've got some hellos coming in from Blue Eyed Mama 1981, who is Carrie, who is the viewer extraordinaire.
Awesome.
So get this. I know I can always rely on Carrie to keep it rolling in the chat room. Okay, so I'm going to start, if you're okay with one of my questions.
Okay.
Let's see. Ooh. Yeah, I thought it was recorded. Here we go. All right, so while I was reading up on you, I learned that you majored in psychology, but after you saw a performance of Frankenstein, you decided to switch over to acting.
Yeah.
What was it about the performance that struck you?
It was just really amazing. It was a very amazing production, like the costumes and the music. Jonathan Christensen, a writer, I think he's a local Edmonton writer, playwright. He wrote the script, and I just remember sitting in the audience and just getting sucked into this story of Victor and the monster, and it was just so beautiful. And I just remember thinking of how it made me feel sitting in the audience, and I'm like, I want to do that. I want to like make other people feel amazing or sad or reflect on whatever they have within themselves, and just, I don't know, just affect people. And I'm like, I guess an actor does that, or anything, you know, making movies or writing or doing something creative like that, especially for an audience. That's a way I can affect people. And I was like, I want to do that. So I'm like, how do I do that? So then that's where it all started for me, I guess.
You were going to say something else. You were going to say it all went to what?
Oh, I don't know. It's just, it's you know, I'm fairly green, as they say, like in as a whole, especially working on like Supernatural and great shows like this have been on air for 10 seasons or going on 11. Like, it's like me, I've been like actively out there for about 5 years now, so it's just, you know, it's a crazy ride already, and I'm just like, oh, what's it going to be like in the future? I don't know, but it's a crazy industry to be involved in, that's for sure. I think you got to be a little crazy and maybe not all there to really just go gung-ho and go after it. So
that sounds right up my alley. I'm
yeah,
already halfway.
exactly. You got to be a little crazy, I think.
I think you need to have a tough skin too, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, like, I hear a lot of people say and describe like being an actor is just like rejection, like that's your life. And I mean, but I feel like this is, I don't know, it's not going off topic, but I feel like being an actor, it's like you'll do like a million auditions and then you get one. But I mean, like, if you focus, it's all about in any part of life. If you focus on, you know, the crappy parts of something, then obviously that's gonna suck. So you just, what I do is I go into an audition or something like that, and you don't even think about the part or if I'm going to get it. You just, if you focus on the work and having fun with that, then being an actor is amazing, because it's just like you just go out and do whatever you want and have fun and live all these different lives, and eventually at one time maybe you'll get paid for it. So yeah.
Well, I mean, what's the saying? You know, if you find the work you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah, totally. That goes for anything, and I guess for acting especially, because there is a lot of stuff that you know, I guess when you sign up to be an actor, you don't really expect to have, and then you get it, and you're like, ah. But you know, just like anything, there's good days and bad days. So just appreciate the goodness in life, and you'll be happy no matter what.
That's very good advice.
Yeah.
We could all take that. It all, no matter what level we are, no matter what we're doing in life. That's sound advice.
Totally.
And not only did you pursue acting, but you won a major scholarship. You only chose to apply to one theater school, which you got into. And not only did you get into it, you kicked its ass and got a scholarship. So that's driven, you know, like complete.
Yeah. Well, I read one of the actors I really love is Daniel Day-Lewis. It's sort of like he does no bad work, and I maybe he's really picky, but I just remember, like, any actor that I adore, I do my research like anyone else, and I just look them up, and I read somewhere that when I first decided that I wanted to pursue this, I read that he had applied to one theater school, and he sort of like used it as like a, you know, a destiny fate thing. He's like, I'm just gonna apply to one, and if I get in, maybe that's a sign that I should do this. And I was just like, maybe that's a fun way to do it, because I think I'm kind of superstitious, you know. I in a way, so I'm like, I'll do that, and then I, you know, and I auditioned, and then and then I got in, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just keep going and rolling with this and see where it goes.
So how do you, I can't even imagine that any of that work was easy. That had to have been very strenuous and
yeah,
taxing on you.
Yeah, I mean, theater school, I think anyone that's been to theater school, you know, it's sort of like, it's more than a full-time job. It's like, you know, 16-hour days. You go home, you live there, you eat there, you sleep there, and then you go home once in a while. And it's a very immersive program, and yeah, and it's strenuous, but I mean, I feel like it's great to prepare you for what's out there. I mean, like, it is a full-time job to pursue this. You gotta do it with all your heart, otherwise, you know, it is a bit of a challenging industry to be in, and if you're not 110% there, then you'll have more troubles than you want.
Was there anything in particular that helped you stay motivated?
I don't know if I just gulped on the microphone, sorry. Well, for me, I don't have a plan B, you know. I think a lot of people, maybe, they're like, I'll do this and for a while, and if I suck, then I'll be a baker. But for me, it's sort of like there is no choice to be an actor. It's sort of like, well, it's not sort of, it is like I am doing this and I can't fathom myself doing anything else. So I feel like just gonna keep doing it, and I don't know, if things don't work out, then oh well. But I think I'm happy doing it enough that if I, you know, if I suck, I never book anything else again, then I'll still be happy just doing something and making my own work. And I also write too, as well as act. So I've written a lot, and so yeah.
Wait, no, you opened that can of worms, so now you gotta tell us, what do you write? Do you write screenplays, or do you write?
Yeah. I write. I've written some short films, a number of short films that one day I'll produce. Producing is really, really not something I like doing, but it's a must for something if you're gonna do something yourself. I've written some short films, and I've written a lot of stuff with some people that who knows where it's going. I'm really into science fiction. That's like one of my loves of genres. So I've written a few really cool things based off of video games and other movies that I really love, and I've created these characters, and they're all just sitting on my computer, just waiting for me to get it done, I guess.
That's awesome. You know, and it's always really refreshing to read something in a genre that the writer is actually very passionate about. So, I mean, just the headgear explains, you know.
Oh yeah, I couldn't find my speakers, and I'm like, whatever. This is all right here, anyways.
We have a comment in the chat room, but before I get that, my daughter's shoving this in my face. I don't know if this is the right way for you to read it. I think.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's so sweet.
King.
Yeah, yay for Catherine.
Oh, thank you, Raven. That's very sweet.
Raven.
Like
That's
I said, my
name.
daughter will video bomb throughout.
That's
I gotta
my
read
name.
questions. I gotta read questions. Okay, so we have a comment in the chat box from a gentleman by the name of Jim Thames. I want to assume it's Thames like the river. Hi, Catherine. Still loving your work. Your picture still hangs. Wait. Oh, I gotta move the screen over. Your picture still hangs next to Heather Locklear's. Keep reaching for the stars, Jim T.
Oh, hi, Jim. Yeah, that's so cool. Jim, yeah, he's been on my Facebook page. I have a Facebook page, so we've been talking for a while now, and he's really great. So that's cool. The picture's still there.
That's so cool. Okay, well, wow. Welcome to the show, Junine, again. That was so cool.
What is?
That he, oh, yeah. Okay, so my next question, I have to tell you, I was doing a lot of reading up on you so that we could have an intelligent conversation.
Right.
And I saw a comment about Carl Sagan.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something? My father is so passionate. He's a closet astronomer who was so in love with Carl Sagan's work that my father, who never missed a day of work, he's a retired pharmacist now. The day Carl Sagan died, he said to me, Jody, I almost want to call out sick. Because Carl Sagan impacted him so strongly. So what is it about him that affects you?
Oh, I think I first got introduced to him watching Cosmos. He's a performer. He's a scientist. He just makes science really fun and interesting, I think, for a lot of people. So I just loved Cosmos, and also he wrote Contact, which is my favorite movie ever, and I just love that movie. And he just seems, I don't know, obviously I don't know it, but he seems like a really cool guy to just hang out with, and just such a positive person, and very intelligent, and a humanitarian, and I don't know, this is sort of like, if I think of my heroes, I think of Carl Sagan, because he's just seems like a really cool and intelligent guy, and someone who actually has, I think he has a lot of people, especially in science fiction, they write, you know, dystopian ideas of where humanity is going, and I think the thing with Carl Sagan and his work and his beliefs is he's very positive, sort of like in Star Trek, you know, they have this utopia, sort of, this is where we can go, instead of, you know, what's very popular right now in science fiction world is this is dystopian and this is crap, which is interesting, but it's also refreshing to be like, what if humanity was great, and what if we, you know, got rid of, you know, all the sexism and racism and all this terrible stuff, and what if we evolved to be something better than ourselves, what we are now? And I think I feel like that's where he stands, and you know, that's his idea of things, and that's positive. I like being surrounded by positive things and positivity, and where we can go rather than where we suck and where we might, you know, end up.
Right. That's true, because you're right. When you do look at a lot of sci-fi, it is kind of dystopian. It's all these negative, you know, well, you know, this spirals out of control, this takes over this, and humanity kind of devolves into this more primal, you know, dog-eat-dog world. And Carl Sagan was one of the few who took it to that other level, who took it to a more positive outlook. And you're right, that's huge, and that ties into everything basically that you and I were talking about too, about, you know, having a positive frame of mind, and you know,
just seems like a cool guy to just go and
Okay, I think we had a little brownout or something with the connection.
Okay.
Are we up again? We're up again.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm sorry, my husband was just heckling me from the hallway. Always a party. Okay, so let's talk about Supernatural for a minute, because for some reason this show's about Supernatural. And what were your assumptions when you were first approached to do the show? When you were first approached to appear on Supernatural, what did you have in mind, how it was going to go? What did you expect? And then how did that change? Did that change after the end result?
Yeah. Well, first getting the part, that was amazing, I guess. And I don't know. I think I had, you know, it films in Vancouver, and I live here, so I had an idea that going into it, it's been running for 10 seasons now, that it might be a bit, it's kind of hard to jive with, I thought it would be hard to jive with, you know, Jared and Judson, and, you know, because it's a tight family, and I'm like, oh, am I going to be the outsider, you know, you know, being a guest in that, it's sort of like, oh, how am I going to, you know, it's been on for so long, but, you know, after the first day, and just even on the first day, everyone on the set, the crew, and I had worked with Stefan, the director, beforehand, but and meeting Kim and Ashley, everyone is so friendly, like so welcoming, and so just down to earth and cool, that there was no, you know, sort of like, oh, I'm this huge big star and don't talk to me. There was none of that. And you know, and I'm like, yay, this is great. It really felt like home, and everyone's been working together for so long that it was, oh, fuzzy. Everyone was working for so long together that it was just, I don't know, I felt like just adopted immediately into that world, and that's so much awesomer to deal with than, you know, going on another set, let's say, with, you know, they've been doing it for a while, and you're just sort of, okay, I'm here for the guest part, and I'm going to do this, and then, you know, like, don't talk to me while, you know, in between takes. Not like that's ever happened, but I mean, everyone was really, really cool, and I wasn't really expecting that really huge warmness from everyone, so that was really awesome. Oh, and I didn't expect the guys to be so freaking tall. They are so tall. It was like two giants come in, and I'm like, what? Because everybody, it's totally distorted working on film sets, because you don't really know how tall someone is, you know? Especially when there's apple boxes and stuff, everyone kind of looks even, but it's just like, no, they're just two just crazy, freakish giants, so.
That is funny. That is funny. My oldest son is very tall. He's like 6'1".
Wow.
And he came to a con with me, because I sell at the Supernatural conventions as a jewelry designer. And in New Jersey last year, he came with me. And I thought, you know, no one's going to make my son look short, right? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I was standing next to Jared, and I'm like, damn, it's you.
and like both of them are extremely tall, so I'm just interesting.
Oh, funny. Oh, you know, you brought up Jared, and that triggered a memory from I think it was 1 or 2 cons ago. Someone in the audience had asked Jared, because their dream was to become an actor, and she was saying, you know, how do I follow that dream, and how do I know when it happens, and etc. And Jared had the perfect answer, and I think you touched upon it as well. What he said was, if you want to be an actor, you are an actor. You are who you are. You're not defined by the roles you get. You're not defined by the work that you do. You're defined by how you feel and what you know, what you want to be. And I think that was such a powerful statement from him. And you basically said the same thing.
Yeah, that's something that I think if you ask any casting director or anyone in the industry, you know, they say that you can only be, like, only you can be the best you, and that's what makes you unique. Like, you can't, you know, you can emulate certain other actors if you look up to them, but like you know, Meryl Streep will never be like Katherine Ramdeen, what Katherine can bring to something, and it is that I feel like acting is, well, for my personal belief in it is that there's not much of a separation between, say, like playing Annie Alex like on the show. Like it's like I am Catherine and this is Annie Alex's story, but I could find places where I am her, you know. So it's I find that I more play myself with this imaginary circumstances rather than, you know, something more along the lines of, oh, it's a split personality and I'm someone else. I feel like, no, I'm myself and this is what I bring to the table. And that way you'll always be unique and honest because you are yourself. That's the only person you really can be. So,
right.
That's really good advice. He's a smart guy.
Well, what you said too, very well said. You know, we spend so much time, whether it's the way we feel about the way we look or the, you know, some kind of behavior we want to take on. You know, we always try to be something other than ourselves. And, you know, it's like you said, no one's the best you except for you. And that's what makes you you.
Yeah, that's what you'll bring to a character that maybe in a casting room that no one else will bring in. They won't bring. You know, they can not be who you are more than you. So that's pretty much your number one thing that you could count on in your own actor toolbox that'll make you unique and shine for whatever part you go out for.
Very cool. Let me ask you this: what was a highlight of yours from appearing on the show?
This will sound bad, but man, the catering is crazy on the show. Like, I don't know, the food was really, really amazing, and when people called lunch and dinner and breakfast, it was like, yay, food. That sounds, you know, it was just really great food. Of course, like just honestly, just working, getting paid to do what you love to do is just an amazing highlight for me, I guess. So that sounds real terrible, but I don't know what else to say.
No, it goes back to what we were saying earlier. You know, you talked about not having a plan B and just diving into something that you love doing, and that's, I'm in that boat right now. As a matter of fact, I just officially quit, you know, teaching to dive full force into my jewelry. I'm terrified.
Good for you. Good for you. It's scary, but I mean, that's an exciting part of life, is doing what scares you, and you could really feel alive that way. And yeah, I sound like a Hallmark card.
No, you're absolutely right though, because you know what, you create that urgency, and it makes you rise to the occasion. You know,
totally. Yeah.
So that's where I think you and I are both at the same point.
Yeah, I think so.
But very cool. So let me ask you this: have you heard about the rumors flying around about Wayward Daughters Academy?
Oh my God, that would be so freaking cool, so amazing. Yes, I don't know. You know, I think it's a. I don't know how productions like with big networks work. I don't know how anything's going to turn out. But if that was an actual thing, that would be so freaking amazing, so cool. There's nothing else on TV that I could think of that is like that.
There isn't. There really isn't. Where you have shows that have these powerful women that, you know, that aren't just, you know, police detectives. Everybody's a police detective. Let's have some, you know, like you had an incredibly strong character. You brought a lot of strength to that, to Alex Annie, because, you know, she was doing horrible things, but you still, she had damn good reasons why she was doing what she was doing, and
that's the writing. That's Bob is, man, he's so genius at what he does, and the script. Oh, it was so beautiful and diverse, and not like one note. You know, it's sort of like you said, like there's reasons, there's motives for everybody in the show, and nobody's just playing the mom. You know, like Ashley Crowe, like she's not, like she's so much more complex. And I mean, it'd be amazing to see her backstory, like where she came from. Like, man, then that's another thing for all the characters, is that everybody has so much to explore that I think this show would be I don't know, it could write itself, really.
It really could. I mean, think about, you know, when I was watching Alex Annie, and all I kept thinking is, you know, the profound relationship between Alex Annie and the vamp mom. And even though, I mean, it was explored to a degree, but you just knew, you had this sense of there is so much depth behind it that you guys were able to convey with, you know, a look. You were able to convey that just in the delivery of a line, and it was just so powerful. And I think you guys did such a tremendous job on that.
Ashley is just so amazing. She's just a fantastic. That's what you get, and Stefan with his direction, like, it's just he was such an amazing director. I'd worked with him on Motive for a small part, and when I didn't even know he was directing the episode, because I get a script and I just kind of look at the work. I don't look at like the technical side, like, oh, you know, well, I'll find out what network it's on and stuff like that. But I'm like, okay, let me just focus on the story here. And I remember when I got the callback for the part, I'm like, oh, I should check out who's going to be in the room. And when I saw it with Stefan, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing, because just working with him on like a principal role on another show, he is such. I find like there's two types of directors. There's like the actor director and the technical director, and he was just so brilliant at being able to communicate with an actor about what's going on in the scene, and having a lot of trust in the actor, being like, what do you feel with this, and it was a huge collaboration. But he just, oh man, I just remembered filming that one scene with Ashley when, you know, she was like, I should have changed you, and he was just sort of like, you know, you both know where each character is in this scene, and let's just go for it, and that type of like freedom and that type of ability to just play in a scene, I think it allows the actors to just, you know, like, be more honest. I find, you know, he was just he's amazing. I hope to work with him again.
I can tell that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it really, you can definitely get the sense of this collaboration, because you can definitely tell in a show or in anything, you know, where the actor's regurgitating lines versus there is a deep connection going on between the director and the actor, and it's just a natural, organic thing.
Yeah,
and that's what happened.
And that was another thing that I really appreciated, was that, but you know, you have like blocking, and then, you know, there's time, and they set up lights, and then in that time between, everybody, Jared, Judson, Kim, Ashley, I would, you know, be like, hey, do you want to run lines? Can we run this? And, you know, because that's their off time, and, you know, they don't have to run lines with you, and, you know, just feel out a scene. But everybody was so like, yeah, let's do it, and so that is like so useful, because shooting, especially television, and feature film work, there's more time, but in television, it's sort of like time really is money, and you got to go. And so you don't have a lot of time to do a lot of takes for a specific scene. So having that time and having the ability to like knock on someone's trailer door, or, you know, while they're setting up lights, to be like, hey, do you want to run this? That is so useful for the actor, you know, so we can sort of like feel it out, and then on the day when we go out, we already know where we're going. And so every single actor that I worked with on the show, everyone was like, yeah, let's flesh this out a little bit, so when we can go, we could just hit it out of the park. And I was really grateful and appreciative of that, totally.
So let me ask you this, because your character didn't go away at the end of Alex Annie. It was referenced again in Hibbing 911 when Jody was having a phone conversation with you. And I don't know, are you familiar with how that conversation went on?
Yeah. I thought it was really fun to find out more about Alex Annie, who she was. Yeah, and I'm like, you know, totally fitting. I feel like, yeah, you know, she's going through some stuff, and she just lost her entire family she's been with for how many years, and I'm like, cool, totally. But yeah, and that was another thing, actually, was reading the script, and then finding out, oh, okay, she's she's not dead, you know, and it's like, where is she gonna go? And that was really exciting to read. So, and great for me as an actor.
Yeah, definitely. Supernatural, if you've not already figured out, no one dies. For real. You know, they always revive. But you know what? They always create these characters that the fans just latch on to and have such an emotional investment in. And Annie Alex is definitely one of those characters. So, you know, watching Hibbing 911 and hearing Sheriff Jody saying, you know, no, she smokes grass under the bleachers here's the boys, you know.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
You know? And not many shows can say that about their characters at all. Even their, you know, secondary characters. I mean, we're talking, you were literally just there once, and people are a buzz about this Wayward Daughters Academy. Hopefully we can make this happen, because Supernatural fans are good like that. You know, the directors and the producers and everything, they actually do listen to us. So maybe. Yeah,
and that's totally awesome. That's I think that's a great thing for a show to do, you know, to listen to your audience. But again, I don't know how these things work. There's probably all this politics and lawyers. I don't know. But if it were to happen, that would be fantastic. And hopefully if it's shooting in Vancouver.
Oh, yeah. Doesn't it always, though, or am I?
Well, Supernatural, yeah, they've got studios and stuff that they use and stuff like that. So, but I don't know how these things work. I'm just an actor, so.
Okay, so I have a couple of questions that I ask every guest of mine, because they're just, you know, I just ask these shallow, ridiculous things. So the first one is, okay, so you're stuck on an island. It could be any kind of island you want it to be. It could be a tropical island, a deserted island, whatever. But you are only allowed to have one supernatural character with you. Who would it be? Why?
I would think, just going from what, you know, where I am in the show, I would have to say it would have to be Jody.
Okay.
Just because I feel like she's, first up, she's like sheriff, so she would probably be able to kill anything or something that was trying to kill us. You know, she's probably got her gun with her.
The hunter?
The hunter, exactly. And she probably would know how to build a raft. I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't be able to do that, but and plus she's so cool to just hang out with anyways, for real, that I feel like she'd be good company.
You know what? Wouldn't she? You know, every single guest I have, I ask that question, and Jody is usually the one that's chosen.
Yeah, she's just so cool. She's so cool. You know, she's just like Kim. Like, just she was so. I wasn't expecting how amazingly cool she is. Like on Twitter, she sounds like this really, you know, cool chick, and it's like, are you really that amazing? And it's like, yes, she is actually. she actually is just totally out there, and our personalities just meshed instantly. And I'm like, can you actually adopt me in real life? Because she's just awesome. Awesome.
I mean, I've only met her in person once, but that experience alone just was like almost life-changing for me. She's incredible.
Oh, and I remember on set I was like, oh, I want to find out more about Kim, and I went through her IMDb, and I was like, oh my God, you're in Star Trek. You did an episode. And she was like, yeah, and I just geeked out because I'm just in love with Star Trek. And I was like, oh, how was it to work with Kate Mulgrew? And she's like, she was amazing. And it's just like, Kate Mulgrew is like one of my heroes of life. And like Catherine Janeway, she's just like, I think probably the most badass female on television there ever was. And so she was just like, she told me so many stories. Kim's just really cool to just hang out with, and she always has a story, and she's always like, she's very educational too. She just knows lots of life things.
Yeah, doesn't she? I mean, I just like, I lived through her on Twitter. Like, damn, you know?
Yeah, she's really that awesome.
Wow. So let me ask you this: what is your favorite version of Star Trek? Is it Voyager?
Okay. I would say, you know, it's so, because there's different parts of it that, okay. I would, okay, TNG was amazing just because it it was just so many characters that are amazing, like Data, Brent Spine. I had the biggest crush on Data for the longest time. He's just, oh my god. Oh my god. And Brent Spiner is just hilarious, actually. I followed him on Twitter. I don't know if I'm still following him, but I followed him on Twitter for a while, and he's just so cool. But then there's like different aspects, like Voyager for Kate, and that was really cool. But Deep Space Nine, I feel like, is one that really was just amazing writing. I feel like probably the best writing of the franchise, maybe TNG as well. They're sort of half and half, but it was amazing how many stories it could come up with being stuck on a space station, and it's just like, you know, and that's what I really loved about Star Trek was yeah, you're in space, yeah, and you're in this fantastical universe, but everything is so human, you know. Even if you're an alien, like the struggles and the relationships are so human that. That wasn't an answer. I don't know. They're all amazing.
No, it was an answer. It wasn't. The answer is there's bits of everything that appeal to you.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
Yeah, that makes sense, right? I mean, we still are like a big Star Trek household and Star Wars. But I mean, back in the day when my husband and I were a lot younger, we used to go to all the Star Trek conventions, and we'd dress. Cool. He used to hand sew Starfleet uniforms for us to wear.
Oh my gosh.
And I will never forget, I went dressed as Jadzia Dax.
Oh my god, she's the hottest ever.
Right? Right? So
yeah.
I went dressed as Jadzia. I had my spots. I was really, and I'll never, when I was in the bathroom washing my hands and someone came up to me and asked me for my autograph, I'm like, oh, you're so sweet.
Oh my god, that's so awesome.
That was my shining moment. But I just love, again, with Star Trek, there is, I mean, just think back to the original series, the fact that there was a woman on the bridge.
Yeah, yeah.
It was always a very, what's the word I'm looking for? But it was always pushing the envelope, and it was always ahead of its time. Always ahead of its time. And it was always a positive message, too. So
yeah, that's another thing. There was always a positivity, and always, like, especially Picard was just, you know, the dad that everybody wants to be, and he's so smart, and it's just like, that's the writers, though, you know, like the writers. Oh my god, it's fantastic. I don't know.
I mean, think about, I forgot the name of the episode where he was captured by the, I want to say Kardashians.
Oh, yeah, I know, right? Kardashian, no, it's not. It's, Kardashian, it's similar to Kardashians. Garrick.
Kardashian captured Captain Picard. And, you know,
what was the name of that episode?
Demonized in that episode.
Totally.
And they took him, you know, from this, you know, upper crust, you know, British guy, and had him practically drooling at the mouth because of the torture that he's enduring. And that's writing. You know, they broke him down into something believable. You know,
there was one episode of Deep Space Nine. Oh, God, I can't remember the episode, but it was. I need to look up who wrote it, because it was. They were marooned on this island. I think that's where, God, what was, what's his name? The kid.
Wesley?
No. It was the Ferengi. Oh my God, what is his name?
Oh, I know who you mean.
The Ferengi kid.
Ferengi kid.
Yeah. Okay. The not. God. What is his name?
Alexander was the Klingon, right?
Yeah. I should totally Google it. But anyways, the episode I'm trying to remember was they were at a war, and it felt like a feature film. It was and it was so dark, and it felt like not a Star Trek episode. It was really crazy. But I remember watching that and being like, Star Trek can be so many different things. You know, it can be so many different things that. It's just amazing. In one show, you can, and especially because they have the holodeck too. I mean, you can be anywhere. So. It's just a great show.
That was what I loved so much about Star Trek: The Next Generation, was the introduction of the holodeck. That was just
What a great writer's tool. It's like, we need to be in 1930s America. It's like holodeck.
Exactly. You need to go to Victorian England and track down Jack the Ripper. Holodeck. There you go.
Yeah. Right.
Instant goods. Okay. How about finish this thought. All you need is
purpose. You know, I was thinking all you need is love, but I feel like if you have purpose in life, then that'll get you through anything, even if nobody loves you or you don't love yourself. It's bad.
That's such a brilliant answer, and you came up with it like that too, which is really good. I've had some interesting answers to that question. That's another one that I ask each guest that I have, and I've gotten all you need is love because they just believe, the John Lennon had it. And then there were, I believe it was Lauren Tom had said, all you need is compassion, purpose. Absolutely, that's an answer I have not yet heard, and I think that's profound. I love it.
Cool.
Love it. So what we're going to do right now is we are going to, I'm going to get my handy dandy trivia question ready.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask the trivia question. Now, the trivia question, if you answer this trivia question correctly, verbatim, it has to be perfect because I'm, got a CD. So if you answer perfectly, you will win a $50 gift certificate good towards any jewelry in my shop except for the Always Keep Fighting bracelets and the Rock the Monkey campaign, which actually, before I read this question, let me just give you guys a quick rundown of those two charities that I'm championing for. The Always Keep Fighting campaign is, as we know, Jared and Jensen are bringing awareness to mental illness, depression, bipolar disorder, anxiety, and so on, and trying to get rid of the stigma around those things. And it really hit home for me on many different levels. And I had spoken to Jared back at Vegas Con, and I said, look, I gave him an example of a bracelet that I wanted to do. I said, can I please jump in on this campaign, and I will sell these bracelets and donate half the proceeds to the cause. And his exact words were, that's awesome. I say, go for it. So I'm going for it. And we've been going for it. We've gotten a tremendous response. I can't even count how many names. I'm going to be reading for a minute. I'm going to read all of these names to you guys. So you can just appreciate how amazing and generous you all are. And then the other campaign is called Rock the Monkey, and that's a Random Acts approved fundraiser that I'm doing, donating 100% of the proceeds for the Rock the Monkey jewelry in my shop to Random Acts. So I feel very passionate about those two
fantastic.
I want to get those out there. So let me read the question, and then while I'm waiting for y'all to answer, I am going to drone on a list of I don't even know how many names.
I'll just sit here.
So let's see. Okay, now this is an exchange between Jody and Annie Alex Annie, however you want to say it. Yeah, names, and she interchanges them. Okay, so Sheriff Jody says, you don't have to explain, I know. Whatever you want from me, I'll give it. If you want, I'm here. But what you've been through the last 48 alone, losing your entire family, everything you've ever known or loved, no one can understand that. What does Alex Annie say to Jody? And with that being said, let the names begin. Okay. Okay, so a big, huge thank you goes out to all of these individuals. Shonda Whitaker, Allison Farabee, Andrea Stock, Amy Renaud, Donna Smallridge, Jessie, who's so cool she only needs one name, Tara Warfield, Carol Palmer, Constance Cooper, and again, if I massacre anybody's names, my apologies. Kristen Dolan, Catherine Webb, Amy Tretwold, Rachel Jack, Preeti Kukral, Becky Gilraith, also known as Kentucky Becky of the Winchester Bros, Amanda Gillespie, Terry Whitaker, Christine Incalcatera. Wow. I think I got that one right, too.
That sounded right.
Yeah, right? Lauren Vignola, Becky Maddox, Margaret McElwee, Becky Gilraith again, because she was so cool, she bought another one for her friend Vinny, also of the Winchester Bros. Some guy named Mitch Kosterman, who I think we all know as Mitch Kosterman, the videographer, the documentarian, and also the brother of some guy named Cliff. Lisa Tomko. Cliff's gonna kick my ass. Sorry, Cliff. All right. Lisa Tomko, Kendra Campbell, Carrie Anderson, who is in our audience right now, and Emily Johnson. I'm not done reading the names, but you got the answer right. She wrote, "You can."
Oh, that's so great.
All right. Congratulations, Emily. Let me finish these names, and then I'll tell you what to do. All right. Kendra Campbell, Carrie Anderson. I read your names twice. Sheila Salem, Amy Tretwold, and I believe that's Amy's second bracelet because she's so cool like that. Carrie Beasy, Laura Mehegan, Marta Simmons, Vicki Bunnell, and Frances Brown. If I did not read your name, it's because I screwed something up on the filter on my spreadsheet. So that doesn't mean your order didn't go through. It just means I have to fix something on my spreadsheet, and I will continue to do this each week. I will read this whole list of names every week because I feel that, you know, you guys deserve recognition for supporting this. So if I have to read your name for a year every week, I will do that because I'm so proud of you guys. So Emily, all right, what I'm going to do, Emily, is I'm typing my email address into at yahoo.com. And what you're going to do is you are going to email me. You're going to tell me, you know, you won the gift certificate for the Katherine Ramdeen interview, and I will take it from there through email. And congratulations. I'm so excited. You got that fast, too.
Yay.
You didn't IMDb it, did you? Of course not.
She watched the episode a million times.
Which is probably true.
It's a great episode.
It was. I loved it because it also, it was also a great mechanism to explore Jodie as a hunter and to show her maternal instincts and to develop that great relationship with Alex Annie. I mean, there was just so much good that came out of that episode, you know? Wow. And I want to say that Carrie wrote Wayward Daughters Academy would be awesome, and I could totally see it. And I think she speaks for, like, everybody. I really, really, really hope something like this does go down because that would be fantastic.
Totally.
Oh, man. So if you had any last words of wisdom for our viewers, what would that be?
Have fun. You only live once. I don't know. As far as, you know, unless you're Buddhist, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. Be nice to people. You know, if everyone's nice to everyone else, then that's just a happy world right there.
That's great. That's absolutely wonderful. And I think that's really, and I think you found this. What you were describing, your relationship on the set with Jensen, Jared, and Kim, is very much the way the SPN fandom is with each other. You know, we all, you know, especially at a convention, we don't know each other from Adam, and we just wind up, you know, bonding over, you know, things that other people would be like crazy. But I mean, it's just that connection that we have, and I don't think that exists very often outside of this, you know? So I think because of the way the cast and crew interacts with themselves and the way it kind of conveys that on screen, and that kind of, us as the fans, we kind of just absorb that.
Totally. You guys are totally absorb that energy. It's such a positive energy, and every time on Twitter or Facebook, like, I interact with the family, that's what it is. It feels like, you know, such a great family. It's just, I'm so lucky to be part of it in any small way. It's really great. Everyone is really awesome and great, and you should all hug yourselves.
There's no such thing as being in a small way. I mean, I'll tell you, everybody can tell you. If someone says Alex Annie, everybody knows instantly that the episode, they remember you, they remember everything that happened, you know, because you had a very profound performance. Oh, and we have a comment here in the chat room. Manila, she said, "Hi guys, yay Emily, I've been silent because I was captivated by Catherine's responses." So she didn't want to ask anything because she was so absorbed with listening to your answers to everything else, which is really cool.
Well, thanks for watching. That's great.
All right. Well, if anybody has any last questions, you have a minute to get them in. A minute.
Clock is ticking.
No pressure. You know what's really funny is, you know, you warned me that you were going to have your cat walking around, and it's so funny while you're in the middle of an answer, and I just see this tail fly up behind you.
Oh, really? Where is she?
Not right this second, but earlier I just saw a tail go whoop, whoop, whoop.
She was, oh my God. I just said, like, where is she? And she's, wait. She is right here. This is Kaiki.
Oh, she's beautiful.
Yeah, she's pretty cute. She's a barn cat. We found her in a barn, and we took her home.
Aww.
She comes right when her name is. She knew we were talking about her. We didn't even say her name, and she just strolled up here like, what's going on?
They're very intuitive.
Oh, totally.
Oh, Manila would like to know if you're going to be at a convention anytime.
If they invite me, I'll be there.
So you are cool with us getting up Creation's butt and saying you need to invite Katherine Ramdeen?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't want to, like, you know, pressure anyone, but yeah, I think that'd be really cool to go to a convention.
We're Supernatural fans. We excel at pressure.
Okay, great.
we can totally do that. We could do that blindfolded.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So that would be fun. Could you imagine? That would be really.
That would be just surreal. Definitely surreal. I know Theo. He told me he went to the convention in England, I guess, you know, because he's from there, and he was just like so. Or I think he already went. Yeah, and he was just so stoked for it, and he's just like, oh my God. And he hung out with the people from last year's scavenger hunt, and yeah, I think it would be a crazy, surreal, awesome experience. Definitely, I'd be totally down.
Could you imagine, like, the photo ops? What that would be like? They'd probably put you with Jody and Donna, right?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, that would be so sweet to just chill with them.
That'd be so great.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to go through the chat window really quickly, make sure I didn't miss anyone. And I don't think I did. I think we covered everybody. So, all right. Well, Katherine, this has been a blast.
Yeah, I'm glad it all went through. It is a fast hour. You said it would be, and I'm like, I don't know.
No, I told you. I don't lie. So, wow, this was a lot of fun, and I really appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to hang out with us. And everything you says has been really, really inspiring, positive, and we need more of that in life, definitely.
Yeah.
So we will now get all over Creation and Supernatural crew to get Wayward Daughters Academy and to get you at a convention, or 5 or 6, you know?
Sounds like fun.
Okay, well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I hope you'll come back.
Yeah, this was great, and thanks for inviting me.
All right, well, thank you. Have a good night, everybody in the audience. Thanks for tuning in. And if you missed us live, you can always click onto my channel and watch later on, and share the link with your friends. All right, thanks, everybody.
Okay, bye.
Bye.